Was ist Desinformation? Darüber diskutierten Wissenschaftlerinnen, Journalistinnen und Politaktivistinnen aus Mittelosteuropa in Tutzing.
I'm very good. I have been enjoying the discussions very much today, and we have the perfect surroundings for this in Tutzing and the wonderful gardens and places for discussion. I'm the chairperson and co-founder of the Institute for Global Analytics in Bulgaria. We're a recently established think tank that ultimately aims to connect the global with the local, since we live in a world that is increasingly interconnected, and we believe that the social sciences should have a societal impact. First of all, this is a national problem, and it can be summed up in the phenomenon of media capture, whereby a large amount of news outlets in the country are owned or influenced by oligarchic networks within the country. And herein comes the second problem, since those oligarchic networks also tend to provide an entry point for foreign influences, particularly Russia, and also more recently China. Overall, they are guided by the general idea and ideological postulate even that autocracies, authoritarian regimes are better capable of, in the current circumstances, dealing with the pandemic or crisis more general, as opposed to liberal democracies. And so the general aim of foreign authoritarian influence operations is to really sow distrust in liberal democracy, and also undermine faith in the European integration process in the countries of Southeast Europe. So most of the more influential and effective strategies and initiatives have been advanced by civil societal organizations. For instance, there have been developed textbooks for media literacy, and in particular developing the media competencies and also digital skills of students from the first grade to the 12th grade. It is important to mention that there has been wider civil societal activity and organization in terms of pushing for greater media freedom. We saw that especially in 2020 with the eruption of large-scale protests in Bulgaria, which in general called for greater political transparency and into corrupt practices. Therefore, the protest activity pushed that issue onto the general public agenda. We have also observed a self-organized journalistic advocacy, especially when certain journalists, investigative journalists, for example, come under attack. We have observed self-organized action on the part of their colleagues in support of the free exercise of the profession. But we have to contrast those civil societal activities to what is going on the political level, because there haven't been enough initiatives undertaken to first of all recognize the problem, the fact that it exists, and then to undertake measures to deal with it. And this is an important question because it is ultimately coordinated and cooperative strategy among a variety of actors, including civil society, politicians, and their international colleagues, that can provide a more unified platform for dealing with disinformation disinformation. Otherwise, initiatives will become much more atomized and confined to their respective sphere of action, as opposed to having a large number of actors who deal with disinformation in their respective scope of competence, be it on the political level through legislation, for example, or then on the civil societal level, which has more to do with media education. In research I have conducted, which compares the Russian disinformation in Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, Poland, and Germany, we juxtapose that to Bulgaria, and we see how the contrasts come out, and in particular the fact that the political response in Bulgaria has been weaker. Greater action has taken place on the level of civil society, and then with some limited focus on the EU level. So in this way, I think there is important learning that can take place through cross-country comparisons. By juxtaposing different countries, we see different vulnerabilities, sometimes similarities in those susceptibilities, but the ultimate goal is to learn from each other's best practices and gaps in dealing with disinformation.